On this episode of the Globe News Report,
live music returns to Goshen in a grand fashion.
See how the community and culture of Goshen impacts the art scene.
A favorite First Fridays theme returns to downtown Goshen.
The corn dog capital of the world may not be where you think it is.
And finally, see which local band has played its last show.
All that and more on the Globe News Report.
Live from the campus of Goshen College, I'm Amelia Lee.
And I'm Alyssa McDonald on the Globe News Report.
We're back in the studios for our first Globe News Report of the year. I'm so excited, but I want to know, Alyssa, how was your summer?
It was so much fun. I was really happy to be home, but I am really excited to be back here at the Globe.
Well, for sure. Did you go to any concerts this summer?
I did. I actually got to see Earth, Wind & Fire and Santana. What about you?
Well, I didn't get to go to a lot of concerts, but I did get to go to GoFest, a music festival put together by some of our underwriters at the Globe. Let's take a look.
Ignition Music Garage and Goshen Brewing Company teamed up for a new musical experience in downtown Goshen.
Lots of people have been talking about Music Fest in Goshen, and you know, some of these bands I really wanted to bring to the community again.
The 3-day music festival was split between the two.
I felt really honored to be the first night, and all of us at Ignition just felt really honored by that. There's a great synergy between Ignition and GBCO. It's a very important relationship to me personally.
This is the first time that the two local music venues merged to create one event.
GoFest just takes it to the next level with the big stage that we've got here. It's the first time we've had a big stage, and I just see it like getting bigger.
The festival was an exciting step in the next direction for live music in Goshen.
Well, I mean, I really think, hope this takes kind of Goshen's music to kind of that next level.
The energy and bringing everybody together, especially in a town like Goshen where everybody's going to show up, you know they're going to be here.
I live for it.
The musical lineup consisted of 11 bands, including co-headliners Futurebirds and Israel Nash. Local bands were invited to perform at Ignition.
You know, GoFest is really part Goshen Fest, you know, kind of short for that a little bit as well. So we want to include, like we said, a lot of the great local talent, but also tonight we've got a lot of nationally touring, internationally some touring bands.
La Locura, a Latin soul fusion band from Goshen, opened day 2 of the festival, the only local group on the GBCO stage.
It's always good to play in Goshen. This is like home to us, right? So everybody here is family, familiar faces, always some new faces. But it's always good to play in front of family, so it's always fun playing here at GBCO.
As for next year, audience members are ready.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd buy a ticket now.
Reporting for Globe News, I'm Amelia Lee.
I really enjoyed going to see all those bands at GoFest in person.
It was a great experience, and seeing La Locura, that was definitely my favorite part.
Local art in Goshen takes many forms. That up next on the Globe News Report.
I work for the best college radio station in the nation. It's not New York City or Chicago, it's Goshen College. Our broadcasting program is just one of Goshen's 35 outstanding majors. At Goshen College, you will work one-on-one with top professionals and get studio time in your first semester. You can call a game from the playing field or broadcast from a downtown radio studio.
How do I know Goshen was the best choice? Right after graduation, I'll start my new job as a radio morning show co-host. Take the next step in your broadcasting career.
There are so many talented artists in the Michiana area, and I had the chance to stop by some of their booths at Arts on the Millrace, and I met with some Goshen College graduates who are making waves in the world of art. Arts on the Millrace is in its 9th iteration, giving local artists a place to sell and showcase their work. With Goshen being a relatively small town, one has to wonder, why has Arts on the Millrace continued to thrive? Adrienne Nesbitt, the festival director, credits the art-driven community.
Yeah, I think Goshen, you know, whether it's art or music or other parts of curating culture, Goshen's always been really great at that. Even from a young age, our schools do a good job of nurturing that love of art.
This idea of the culture and the community of Goshen was carried amongst many of the artists. Nora Amstutz, the owner of Nora Ruth's Pottery, had similar sentiments.
This community just supports artists so well, and you have people from all walks of life here.
Nathan Pauls, the owner of Potter Pauls, also says that freedom at Goshen College to explore classes nurtured his career in pottery after graduating in 2021.
Goshen has a really good way of letting you kind of get into classes that aren't like maybe within your major. So I started out as a communication major, then I took a couple art classes, which got me into ceramics, which, you know, fast forward 2-3 years, and now I'm here actually selling pots.
Jesse Amstutz, the owner of Jesse Amstutz Studio, had a very similar experience.
I think, yeah, Goshen, the education I had at Goshen College helped me be able to explore a bunch of different things and, yeah, dip my toes in a bunch of different waters.
The community encouraged many graduates like Paul's to remain in the area even after graduation.
So something that I've noticed, I mean, just from talking to people, it's actually the reason I stayed in Goshen after grad, because I'm not from the area, but it's because of at least the pottery community and also the art community is very strong.
Reporting for Globe News, I'm Alyssa McDonald.
I'm always so impressed by what people are capable of creating with their hands.
Yeah, when I went there, I actually ended up buying a t-shirt and a little wooden gnome.
I actually have a gnome collection at home. It has like a rug and some little mini gnomes.
That's so cool. You know, everyone has their passions and their interests, and I feel like a really common one is classic cars.
Volksfest took over Main Street in downtown Goshen, bringing a variety of creative cars to look at, but one stood out from the rest. Tyson Miller has the story.
When one attends Volksfest in downtown Goshen, they expect to see the usual, VW bugs and buses. And for the most part, that's what's here tonight. But one man, Jeff Gruntman, went in a little bit of a different direction.
Instead of an actual Volkswagen vehicle, Gruntman decided to bring his own custom build. Built with the Beetle as an inspiration, this was a pandemic project.
I built this during all of the shutdown of the pandemic. I built it in I think I started in February when it got really hairy, and in September I had the car drivable. The whole reason I got into doing metal fabrication is automotive, motorsports, automotive, motorcycles. I quickly realized that those customers can be pretty difficult to find, and so I flipped more to the industrial side, and I've built many cars and helped build many cars. This was one I knew I wanted to build from scratch, from nothing.
Car shows aren't the only use for this vehicle. Gruntman finds occasions to drive it almost daily.
We'll take it on date night, my wife and I. I'll drive it back and forth to work. Anytime I've got an errand to run and it's decent out, I'm driving this. Like this summer, I've probably put over 1,000 miles on it this summer already.
While Gruntman's build is an extreme example, he offers a word of encouragement for people looking to take on a big project.
I would say do it. Try and fail is better than, the only failure is when you don't try. Every time you try and you don't have your desired outcome, you always learn something.
Reporting for Globe News, I'm Tyson Miller.
Seeing all those bugs on display for everyone to see is such a unique event that I've never seen before.
It's like we've said before, Goshen is really a fantastic place to be if you're wanting to explore your creative side.
Corn dogs and the city of Bristol, what they have in common and more when we return. This is the Globe News Report.
I came to Goshen thinking that I'd just be acting, but over the course of my 4 years, I've taken part in all the other facets of theater, and I think that's helped me gain a wider appreciation for theater as a whole.
I mean, it takes all those things that I'm interested in, like design aspects of theater, the environmental studies course I took, and it takes my music major, and it just focuses it all into theater.
Indiana is known for its themed festivals, the Blueberry Festival, the Johnny Appleseed Festival, and more. But a corn dog festival? Dante Stanton has the story.
This is a corn dog. If you've ever been to the city of Bristol, you've likely had the smell of corn dogs hit your nose at least once or twice. It happens a lot, and that's because of Monogram Foods, which produces more than 2 million corn dogs per week, an incredible number. Now, Monogram Foods is working with the city of Bristol in order to dub the community the corn dog capital of the world. It's a bold claim, and they're backing it up by hosting their first annual corn dog festival. Let's see now if the city of Bristol can live up to the new name.
Corn dogs, and more corn dogs. The festival was held at Congdon Park and was chock full of dogs of all kinds at every turn. And according to the volunteer workers at Monogram Foods that hosted the festival, the community reaction was through the roof.
The people, everybody's come together so great. It's been wonderful to get the word out in the community about the greatest corn dogs on the face of the earth that we make right here in Bristol, Indiana.
And this isn't just a new concept. The idea has been kicked around for a while.
So about a year ago, we started having discussions of like, how can we have a bigger impact in the community? And that's where someone said, what if we did a corn dog festival?
So how did Monogram Foods even get started in giving the city a whole new nickname?
That was just a lot of partnering with the city, just having conversations. I mean, one of the things is Monogram's been in town for quite a while, but not a lot of individuals have heard of us or knew about us, and it's more corn dogs produced here than anywhere else in the U.S. So we wanted to highlight that and kind of make it something that Bristol could be proud of.
Then, of course, there's the question. What exactly can you do at a corn dog festival other than eat the corn dogs? Well, there's always live music to check out. Folks can stop at the pavilion for some high-class corn dog theater.
Yes, the corn dog is the resplendent melding of the worlds of cornmeal, hot dogs, and with sticks.
Then there's the opportunity to play a few games. There's the corn dog ring toss.
Oh, so close. And of course, you can't have a corn dog fest without cornhole. There's also one of these, but honestly, that just looks too scary.
And beyond the fun and games of the festival, all the proceeds are still going to a good cause.
For all of the proceeds of the festival that we make here today, every t-shirt that we sell, all the corn dogs that we're selling, all of those proceeds go to support the food pantry here in Bristol.
The shirts produced by Monogram Foods, well, they were red and yellow for ketchup and mustard. Let's just say some folks had strong opinions about the condiment battle.
Well, I realize that some people might put ranch dressing on a corn dog, but it's blasphemy. I'm a mustard girl. Some people choose ketchup, but this is the ultimate battle in corn dog condiments.
And if you missed out on the Corn Dog Festival this year, don't worry, because Monogram Foods already has plans for the Corn Dog Festival in 2023. By just about every measure, the first annual Corn Dog Festival was a success, and Bristol certainly deserves that new nickname. It also succeeded in making this reporter pretty hungry. Reporting for Globe News, I'm Dante Stanton.
Now, I've heard of corn dogs at fairs, but I've never seen a whole festival dedicated to them. Now, I do have to ask, what is your condiment of choice, ketchup or mustard?
I mean, Alyssa, I don't eat meat, so on my carrot hot dogs, I'm gonna go with ketchup on that one. What about you?
Likewise, I'm a ketchup person as well. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the Tumbleweed Jumpers who have played their last show together as a band on the Globe News Report. You know it's tomorrow, right? When I first heard the Tumbleweed Jumpers play their music, I really did fall in love with it.
No, it's great, and they just performed their last concert at Goshen Brewing Company. I got the chance to talk to Scott Layman from the Tumbleweed Jumpers about his time being with the band.
Hey, it's Amelia Lee here at the last concert for the Tumbleweed Jumpers at Goshen Brewing Company. I'm here with Scott. He's a man of many talents with the Tumbleweed Jumpers. Scott, how are you doing today?
Doing great. This is amazing. I couldn't ask for anything more than this.
For sure, and it's your last show. So how are you feeling tonight about it being your last show with the Tumbleweed Jumpers?
It's definitely bittersweet. We've been doing this for a decade over with the same group of people, like 11 years now, and it's just been like one of those things that's been constant and been a passion of mine, but at the same time, it's like seasons of life, the things, things change, and like we absolutely love each other. We're all going to continue to play music together, but this is like kind of a final note in a good way.
Yeah, for sure. And then what are your plans for the future? This is your last time with the Tumbleweed Jumpers, so what are your plans?
I play in two other bands. I play in Jagalchi, which is a post-rock band. We just played here last week, actually, and we're going to play a bunch of shows around. We're recording a full length at the end of October, and then I also played a band called Dad Jokes, which is like a fun-loving ska band from South Bend who plays a show a year for funsies. And then a few of us played other bands. We have Sanchez Agency, our drummer's in that, and a few other people in our band playing other bands. A few of our members are going to go forward in an unnamed secret brass band, like New Orleans style funky kind of stuff. So look for that in the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, for sure. And it's obviously a very bittersweet time for you guys, you know, the end of an era and everything. So what was your favorite moment, your favorite memory being a part of the Tumbleweed Jumpers?
I'd have to say, I think like it would be stupid not to say it was the symphony. Like we started being like, we're gonna try and play Constant Spring. That was our like goal, and like that happened in 6 months, and we never knew what our end goal was. And then suddenly we got to play with like an actual symphony orchestra, like orchestrated our songs, and it was just like, okay, that's what we were meant to do, and that was part of it. Like that's how can we get any cooler than that? So it was a good memory, a good like final stamp on everything. So. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite.
And what are you most looking forward to in your future as a musician?
To experiment more with things like in Jigalchi, I played through like a few different guitar pedals and just like really getting into that realm, which I've never really done. And then like my roots as a jazz musician and a horn player, like going with that with our brass band and just like really exploring different avenues. Like that's one thing that we thought about as we moved on was like, this is amazing. We've done this. Maybe we can explore some other things we haven't gotten to yet.
So you will continue to play music in the future?
Oh yeah, we'll be around. I think nearly all of us will be around, so for sure.
Yeah, and then do you have any plans to reunite ever in the future as of right now?
You know, there was like a what if a reunion show thing happens, and you know what? Who knows? We're all in Goshen. Could happen. At this point, we're like done with shows, and you know, yeah, we'll see.
Well, thank you so much, Scott. It was
Thank you so
great.
much.
Appreciate it.
I'm really looking forward to seeing all these musicians move on. But thank you for joining us on this year's first Globe News Report.
You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 911 The Globe and globeradio.org for more local content.
Until next time, this has been the Globe News Report.